Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Tiger Cub News.
I'm Tiger.
And I'm Reese.
And we will be your anchors for this week.
Before we get into the show, we wanted to talk to you about some COVID-related news that has happened recently.
This week we found out that Pasadena is to require vaccination for hospitality workers and customers. We wish them luck.
The Center for Disease Control, also known as the CDC, recommends that people ages 18 and older with pre-existing conditions to get a third booster shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. They are also allowing essential workers to receive the booster, but is not recommended at this time.
Multiple companies are launching trials for antiviral drugs meant to stop COVID in its track, much like the Tamiflu it does for the second seasonal flu. It would be a huge step in the right direction for a return to normal.
And finally, Pfizer has submitted data on vaccines for 5 to 11-year-olds, and they are expected to ask the FDA for emergency use authorization in the coming weeks. That age group would cover all current elementary students, as well as 6th graders.
In the meantime, make sure to wear your mask and stay safe, Tiger Cubs.
Now let's get into our ASB announcements with Silas and Rose. Take it away!
Hi, I'm Silas.
And I'm Rose.
And together we're ASB Announcements!
Hey SPMS, there's no such thing as a bad hair day this Friday because
it's Crazy Hair Day. On October 8th, style your hair as crazy and wild as possible on this hair-raising spirit day. Remember, you can always dress in our school colors, orange and white, and also black.
Additionally, it's time to step it up for our annual Step It Up fundraiser.
By raising money to fund student activities, you can win awesome prizes from a fundraising company which hosts all this awesomeness. Send out 10 emails through their website to people who might donate and you'll complete the golden ticket, which will get you prizes when you turn them in tomorrow during lunch. More information is on the papers you have received and the video that you've watched or are going to watch soon.
That's all!
And enjoy the fall!
Thanks, you guys. Next up, we have a segment on the guest speaker Kelly Caballero, a Tongvan poet and activist.
Hi Tiger Cubs, I'm Adelaide and I'm here with
Kelly Caballero.
And I'm just gonna be doing a quick interview with her. She is a Tongva poet and artist. I just say thank you for meeting with us.
Of course, thank you guys.
What issues in our society do you think is the most important as of right now?
So speaking as a Tongva woman, an indigenous person to Los Angeles and to this land, I think one of the most important issues that society faces is climate change. The extreme weather patterns that we're experiencing, the incredible heat that we have, and just overall in the entire world, the extreme climate catastrophes, I think is the biggest problem we're facing today.
What inspired your love for poetry?
Poetry was always inside me. I grew up loving to read. I loved reading, and that inspired my love for language and words, and I'm an emotional person. And I just combined that and out came poetry and songwriting. It was a way for me to channel my emotions that I couldn't express otherwise.
Which of your poems is your favorite?
I love the California poem that I recited earlier. It is about an ancestor living in the present, and it's also my views on Los Angeles and the environment that it is, the buildings and everything. But for me, that's one of my favorite poems, because it just encompasses Tongva and Tongva people and the land for me.
Yeah. And lastly, is there anything about Tongva culture you'd like to share with everyone?
I would love to share about Tongva culture in the sense that we are still very much here. We are not gone from the place. You may not see us everywhere, but we still do work to preserve the remaining natural landscape in Los Angeles. We are artists. We are poets, we are change makers, we are politicians, we are culture bearers. We are very much still here, and I think recognition of that and honoring that in our own everyday life, just like walking in a good way, respecting the nature that is here, is really important. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adelaide. Thank you so much, everybody in South Pasadena Middle School, for having me.
Thank you for your time at SPMS, Kelly. Now let's check out another South Pass spot with Reese and Adelaide.
Hi Tigers, welcome back to another episode of Spots. Today we are reviewing one of South Pasadena's best boba spots, also known as Teamorrow. Now let's get into the show. Teamorrow was established March 19, 2018, and it has been booming in business since then. It sells food, drinks, and bubble tea, also known as boba. Some typical drinks you can see are drinks like black milk tea, matcha tea, strawberry tea, and more. They have foods such as dumplings, rice, noodles, etc. Teamorrow has free Wi-Fi and restrooms for the public. It has a Google review of 4.5 stars. It's not that far from the middle school, located on Mission Street. I highly suggest you try out Teamorrow if you haven't already. It's a great place to find food and tea packed into one delicious meal. Back to you, Tiger. Next up, we have Rose again interviewing a South Pass Little League commissioner.
Hi Tiger Cubs, my name is Rose, and today we have a special guest interview with the Commissioner of SPLL. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name's Alberto Ocon, and I'm the South Pasadena Little League president.
You mentioned All-Stars before. When did they play?
So All-Star plays from June 19th, like mid-June, every year until, if you can make it to the Little League's World Series, about August 23rd or so.
How did the All-Star teams do this year? Were you able to have a season or an All-Star season because of COVID?
Well, yes, we were able to have a full season for both our regular, our All-Stars, and our summer. And right now we're doing our fall softball. So we started our league in March. March 20th was the first official game, and we were able to go through the entire season.
So for this season, how do you plan to take things like with COVID and all the new protocols?
We followed all the county rules that were asked of us. We had at the beginning of the seasons, we had sanitizers, and we had cleaning and making sure and disinfecting all the play areas. For a little while, we were at a 6-foot distance, and we couldn't use the dugouts. And we social distance outside.
That's it for now, and thank you for coming.
Thanks, Rose. Speaking of sports, here are the guys with the highlights from last week's games.
Hello Tiger Cubs and welcome to this week's recap of sports. First, the 8th graders flag football game was last Thursday when they played First Avenue. Both teams played lively with SPMS in the lead. First Avenue stayed spirited, but the game ended with SPMS winning with a 52-12. SPMS girls volleyball also played First Avenue and won after 2 sets, with the second set being a close match, the total score of 25-22. Finally, cross country had the first meet. All of SPMS did exceptionally well. Varsity girls got the top 5 spots, varsity boys got top 4, and junior varsity took home the 4th as well. That's all the sports news for this week.
Keep up the great work, Tiger Cubs. We wish you more good luck. Now we have an album review called The Epic by Kamasi Washington.
Take it away, Jarvis.
Kamasi Washington's The Epic is designed and performed to perfection, enchanting you into this grand fantasy world of trumpets, piano solos, and a fully orchestrated choir. Mostly known for his contributions to Kendrick Lamar's 2015 jazz rap masterpiece, Kamasi has been one of the most forward-thinking trumpet players in the past decade. So going into this album, I expected nothing short of amazing, and I gotta tell you, he definitely delivered. What's really impressive about this is how eclectic Kamasi is due to my prior assumptions about jazz's general repetition and style. There are so many instruments and sounds incorporated, making this record a joy to listen to. He had to make it this interesting, though, because this is a 3-disc album, coming in at around 3 hours in length. Although I will be fair and say that this album is supposed to be listened to in multiple sittings, I don't blame you if you don't have the time or patience to sit through this LP. If you do, however, and jazz interests you, I would definitely recommend this album for you to listen to.
Music to my ears.
Recently, both Haiti and Mexico experienced serious earthquakes. As Californians, we never know what the big next one will hit, so here's Nico with some earthquake safety tips.
Hi, I'm Nico here with Earthquake Safety. Earthquakes are dangerous and all, but it's important to follow the drills we take to ensure that when an earthquake happens, you are as prepared as you can be. If and when you are in the event of an earthquake, stay inside and drop down, under a secured surface, and cover your neck and head. Stay away from any furniture that could tip over or shatter. In the event of an earthquake, the most important thing to do is remain calm and follow your teacher. I'm Nico, and this has been Earthquake Safety.
I'm glad I now know what to do during an earthquake.
Last but not least, here's this week's pet profile. Thanks for your time, Lucky.
That's all for this week on Tiger Cup News. We'll close out with this week's bloopers and credits.
See you next week.
If you're ever looking for why did I do this? What are you working on?
It's nothing.
Really?
I'm Rev, and I'm Adelaide, and this was Tiger Cup. Nope.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Alright, start talking.
Oh, I need to get this.
Through, Vic, get out of my way. Let's go. So confused, y'all.
Hi. It's nice to meet you. Bye.
Music to my ears.
I'm sorry. It's so funny to me. Okay.
Music to my ears. Stop laughing!
Recently, both Haiti and Mexico.
Oh my god!